Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy 1 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm restarting it off here, just to show off what Bahamut says after he changes your classes. So I off-screen coming back here. I also, just to save some time, I off-screen going back to Corneria and stocking up on heal potions. So I have 99 heal potions again, since I was going to have to do that anyway. Figured I'd, save some time. Yeah, I usually cut that out when I do that, but this just saves a little bit of time. So, well, now that we've gotten our class change from Bahamut, let's thank him by stealing all the treasure that he has in his kingdom. So, and we have a new enemy here, Worms. There's quite a few new enemies in this area. A lot of them you can also encounter on your way to the Castle of Ordeals if you go the land route. If you go the land route, you have to park your airship to the east. There's a grassy plain there, and then you have to hike your way over. The airship can only land on grass tiles, with one exception. There's one desert tile that you can land on, but that's more of a bug. Let's go take some treasure, talk with some dragons. If you are brave enough, try meeting the King of Dragons, Bahamut. Already did, and he class changed us. Unfortunately, unprofitable business is not a practice of the dragons of Cardia. There's another dragon down here. Let's go talk with him. Long ago, dragons and humans lived and traded together. Good folks. So I guess there's good dragons and bad dragons, because we fought quite a few dragons. And there's still a few more that we're going to have to fight in some future dungeons. So, and here's another new enemy, the Catman. Not to be confused with the Man-Cat, which is an enemy we can encounter in the Castle of Ordeals. I'll probably go back to the Castle of Ordeals later to fight a few enemies that we missed in there. But that'll be in a later episode. This episode, I'm just going to be going around and getting some new equipment for our characters, since they can wear some new equipment. Also be getting the spells that our characters can now use. The knights can use level 1 through 3, some level 1 through 3 white magic spells, and the ninjas can use some level 1 through 4 black magic spells. The ninjas can now wield every weapon with the exception of the Excalibur, so they're wielding the silver axes that Bert and Beez used to be wielding. So yeah, they're doing a lot more damage than what they wore with the rune and the dragon swords. We're gonna buy a knife when we go to Gaia, that one town I mentioned. We flew past it in the last episode. There's a knife there, the Cat Claw. It's the strongest knife in the game. We were going to the Castle of Ordeal to the northeast. There we will rest, test, and bring back proof of our courage. It's the strongest knife in the game, but what's really good about it is it has a really good hit percentage. Once in the north, there were beautiful palaces and big mechanical castles. So that'll definitely give our characters another attack. They won't do as much damage per hit, but they'll be doing an extra hit, so... The proof of your courage might be anything. Spoiler, it's a rat tail! Now, I wonder, since we got that tail, like, if that treasure chest is empty, so when these dragons go to test their courage, they're not going to find anything there. Did we, give the tail back to Bahamut, and now he's going to fly back and place it back in that treasure chest? I'll have to check our inventory then. I'll have to remember to check my inventory to see if the tail has disappeared from it or not. Because if it isn't, I wonder what the next person's what they're gonna have to do to prove their courage. So, let's get some more treasure here. Quite a lot of gold that we'll be getting because, and that'll be good because we need that gold. We're gonna be spending a lot of our cash that we earned. So, and let's fly around a little bit here. Some more. And over here. Oop. Another new enemy, that's Soria. So, they have that glance spell that could paralyze you. but otherwise not too much of an issue. Finish him off. Ooh, ineffective. Woohoo! We're getting some pro rings. That'll help make some of the spells that we were so scared of in the Castle of Ordeals ineffective. So, this guy, have you met Bahamut, the Dragon King? He honors those with courage as true warriors. Yes, we have, and he's honored us by making us new classes, knights and ninjas. Last little cave here, hole. Let's go find some dragons, talk with them, get some more treasure. I don't think there's any dragons on the outside here. I think they're all indoors. I want to say guarding the treasures, but they're not really guarding the treasures. You're not afraid of me? Then I am impressed. Nope. Better not tell him that we beat up a bunch of frost dragons in the ice cave. He might get mad. He might be distant cousins or something. Alright, that's a good chunk of money right there. All this money, like I said, will be going to really good use. Now that we can buy some new equipment and we have access to pretty much all the new towns in the game. We won't be going to all of them just yet, though, but definitely want to make a stop at Gaia, because that's where we get those pro rings, and they protect against those instant death spells. So there's one more enemy I want to encounter around here. Might as well fight it. Here we go, the Manticore. So their annoying thing is that stinger. It hits everybody in your party, so it can poison, you know, all 4 of your characters with one hit. So poison's annoying because you have to go through your menu and heal it, and it rearranges your party, and you got to rearrange them, you know, put them back in order. So that's the field where you'd land in if you wanted to hike to the Castle of Ordeals. And here is Gaia, town surrounded by mountains. Let's see what's going on here. This town is Gaia. We got a professor here. Have you been to the city south of here? I just can't understand a word spoken there. I wonder what language they speak. We'll go to that city a little bit. After this, actually. The fairy of the spring was kidnapped. Uh-oh. Sounds like we're gonna have to rescue her. Legends say that the castle in the west is a place to test courage. Yep, for the dragons. And the only weapon sold here is the cat claw. Like I said, it's a good knife. It has slightly more attack power than the dragon sword and the rune sword that we have. It'll have less attack power than the axes that we're using, but it has that higher hit percentage, so it's going to boost our thieves up to have another attack. So it pushes them above the 64 that they need to. So we can sell all our old weapons there, the coal sword, the rune sword, and then the 2 silver axes. Our fighters will happily continue to use their ice and flame sword. There's a dungeon we could go to get a sword that's a little bit better than the cat claw and has the same attack percentage and much higher attack power, but we'll do that later. Not going to go too far out of order here. So we're going to sell everybody's gauntlets, which is their hand protection, because these pro rings are going to be the best thing to put on somebody's hand for the rest of the game. So we also sell that buckler there because the ninjas can use night shields, so they'll be able to use those like the ice and there's going to be a flame shield when we get in the thing. So that'll be the elemental armor and elemental shields are what our ninjas will be using, and they'll be using like reverse. So whoever has the flame shield will get the ice armor, and whoever has the ice shield will get the flame armor. That way they get 2 elemental protections. So eventually we'll get a helmet, the ribbon that gives elemental protection from all elements. But until we get that, we'll just try to block as much elemental attacks as possible. So yes, once we get the flame shield, Nichols will get that. Once we get the ice armor, then Chip will get that. Or once we get the flame shield, Chip will get that. So they'll have reverse, like I said, they'll have the opposite elemental armor and shields. I saw shining objects flying toward the east. So this way, if you have mages in your party, this is where you get the 7th and 8th level, 6th level magic. Only a fairy can draw oxyale from the spring. This fairy is in the back here. We'll go to the fairy spring and we'll see there's no fairy there. Let me see. Yes, there was this professor that studied Definish. Well, the only professor we knew of is Dr. Un back in Melmond. So remember that because we're gonna have to go visit him again. There's a pirate that looks like Bicky. Hardy har! You are too late. I bottled the fairy and sold her to a caravan. So it sounds like we're gonna have to find a caravan and go buy the fairy off of them. Hopefully nobody else bought it. Knowing our luck, though, somebody will have bought it and then we'll have to go through a big dungeon to find it. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But once we do have the fairy, and this will be the spring that we will release the fairy in, and apparently she'll have to draw oxyale. What that is and what it's for, we don't know yet, but apparently only a fairy can draw it. So I guess it's important that we get it. So let's stop at that town to the south. It's surrounded by forest, so this is where you have to land if you want to get that, go to that town. A little piece of land right there. Try to encounter some new enemies there. There's some new enemies in the north in the rivers. We'll farm them a little later. Here's another new enemy, the Zomball. So this is a good battle in the Peninsula of Power. The Peninsula of Power shares the monster types here. So, but these monsters here, they're all weak to fire, and the Zomballs are weak to the harm 2. So if you have that fire to harm 2 spells, you could deal a lot of damage to this group and get a lot of good experience way before you're supposed to. It speeds up the grinding a lot. But we just had to grind around Elfland back then, so we'll still use on occasion that Zeus's Gauntlet. Eventually we'll get an item to replace the Zeus's Gauntlet. But Nick is never going to have a full complement of armor because there's a piece of armor much later, the white shirt that we can get, that grants the Invis 2, which helps all the characters' evade stat. And so the slight hit that he'll take to his defensive rating is worth the extra dodge that we'll be giving the entire party. Plus, you don't need defense as much as, say, Boat and Beez, because remember, Boat takes 50% of the attacks, Beez takes 1/4, and then Chip and Nickels are only about 1/8 of the physical attacks, so. New enemy there, the Tyro. Not to be confused with the T-Rex, which is a 1 in 64 encounter. There's only 2 enemies in the game that are only 1 in 64 encounters. So here's that town in the south. The T-Rex is one of them. Still have a dirty face. Still haven't washed after all that time. See, this is the town where everyone talks weird. Everybody except for 2 people. We'll go talk with those 2 people, but they're not going to do anything for us. So, yeah, the 2 enemies that 1 in 64 are the T-Rex, or the T-Rex is in the desert area, and then the Iron Golems in the Temple of Fiends in the past. So yeah, here's the level 8 magic shops. So, people in there speak regularly. Other enemies are maybe 1 in 64 in certain locations, but then they're not 1 in 64 in other locations. So for instance, there's a gas dragon that's 1 in 64 in one dungeon, but then it's in another dungeon, and it's a much higher percentage. So, got another Tyro here. I'm keeping him in because we're going to get a level up off this Tyro. Dinosaurs are still alive in this world. Yes, now we're Team Red. So, at the at odd levels, that's when we'll get spell charges for our characters. So now our characters are actually going to get their spell charges. So they'll get a spell level now here. So we'll be able to go back and buy some spells. We'll be able to actually use them. So we're not going to get a lot of spell charges, but now I forgot to talk with somebody in Gaia. I'm going to go back to Gaia to talk with them, but to show off that dialogue. But the one thing that they say is, hey, there's a tower in the south that I think is a mirage. So we're just going to go check that out real quick. Encounter a new enemy here, the Wyvern. It's the blue dragon down there. It looks like the worm, that orange monster we fought at the beginning of the episode. So there was a really tough monster here that we're going to encounter too. I'm just going to show you how tough it is though in this episode. But let's take out this wyvern first, and then we're going to go check out this tower. So hey, that's not a mirage, it's an actual tower, but we can't enter the tower. Guess we need some sort of key. We're going to need a lot more levels and power to take out these guys, the red ankylos. The thing with them is they hit really, really hard. Look at that, 123 damage. And they have really high defense, so you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage to them. You basically need spells to hurt these guys. You look at that, 2 hits and they're taking down Boat almost to, well, they took Boat down to critical. So, yeah, see, we're not doing a lot of damage. You know, we got a critical hit there and did over 100. But, yeah, when there's a group of 4 like this, you're really going to basically need to have spells to cut through their high defense. So, but I get to show you these really tough enemies, and I get to show you what happens when you get knocked out. So yeah, you lose access to those 2 characters, and unlike, say, the Final Fantasy Legend 2 that I did a Let's Play of, your characters do not revive after battle. To revive your characters, you're going to have to go back to a town, to one of the clinics, and pay some money to have them put back on their feet. Everyone thinks the desert in the desert is a mirage. Missed the guy by 1 step. Legends say the Sky Warriors flew about here and there from a castle in the sky. And well, we're flying around like that. We actually, this is actually the airship we will learn that we discovered. So, well, let's head back to Corneria, because that's a cheap place to revive our characters. Plus, we have to head back here anyway to get that level 1 white magic spells for our knights. So the clinics are the buildings that have a heart on them. And we just go there, and whoever is knocked out, we just pay a small fee, and they will be revived. So, yep, let's switch our order back, put everyone back in the right order, and then we'll head over to the magic shop to buy our white magic. We're limited in the amount of white magic we can get. The only ones worth getting for Beez and Boat is the Cure spell. It's not a very good spell, but it's it'll help save us on potions. So, yep. So, in a pinch, you know, it'll save us some money here and there. So, not really useful except for like out of battle. Basically, you want your Cure 3 and Cure 4s for in battle. But like I said, out of battle, could save us some heal potions, so we'll take advantage of it when we can. The ninja's black magic spells will be a little bit more effective in battle. So, especially now that we don't have all the items that can cast the level 2 black magic spells for free. So we're going to get the Fire 2 and Lit 2 for Chip and Nichols for level 3. And then for the level 4, we will get the Ice 2 and the Fast spell. And the Fast spell is going to be good for the entire game. What that does is it adds basically another attack to your characters. So if, like Bert and Beez, if they're doing 4 attacks, they'd be doing 5 attacks. So, and then we'll get Bert and Beez their Cure 2s. So, help us, like I said, save a little bit on things. Unfortunately, we can't get the heal spell. That would help a little bit, but Nope, we're just stuck with the Cure 1 and Cure 2. So now we're going to go back to the level 4 Black Magic Shop. It's up in the north west corner here in Elfland. And then we can just hop out of Elfland and hop back and save our game at the inn. So like I said, we want to get that Ice 2 spell and the Fast spell. So, and both our ninjas will end up getting them. Like I said, that Fast will be really good for boss battles. We'll have our ninjas basically be fasting Boat and Beez. So that's how our spells look like for our knights, Cure 2. And for our ninjas, Chip and Nichols, they got those elemental level 2 spells and the Fast spell. So they're both the same. So let's step on out here real quick. We'll make a quick save and heal at the end, because when we revived, we just only revived at 1 hit point. So of course that elf had to be mean and go into the inn there. Boo, elf. So there we go. Healed up. And now we can just take a quick jump over to the Gogu Volcano, where we will save our game. And that's where we'll be heading in our next episode. So take care, have a good one. Hope to see you back there. And hope you're enjoying these episodes. Thanks for following along. Bye.